welcome back to another round of playing the Wizards with myself, Gandalf versus Saruman, and so we are on Gandalf's team's turn again. We're at Bag End. We can untap Gloin and Balin. We're still at the Gladden Fields. Okay, so Bilbo comes in at Bag End. Under general influence initially, but I don't think there's a limit to the number of times we can pass an item, so I'm going to have Gandalf pass this ring to... Gandalf's giving the ring to Bilbo. Alright, he passes corruption check. Let's see, that was yeah, he had 4 corruption points, but he gets a plus modifier, so yeah, he passed it. Alright, so he passes that ring to Bilbo. I'm going to bring Bilbo in under Gandalf, actually, and then... This is a little risky, but I'm going to test this ring. Tap to test... I'm going to... Oh, wait, well then if Gandalf taps, then I can't... Dang it. If Gandalf taps, he can't tap the ring Goldberry end. Oh, well, Bilbo's a sage. I could have him test the ring. That just seems silly, though. I'd rather have one of these other guys test the ring. We'll keep this in our hand. All right, so that's how we'll just leave it at that for now. So, yes, we are currently using 17 of our 20 general influence at the moment. But these guys are going to head to the Old Forest, and these guys are going to stay put. And let's do it. Alright, so we draw 1 on the way to the Old Forest. Thranduil. Okay. Not really when I wanted to see him. Alright, and then they can draw 1. Orc Raiders. Alright, so we're talking about a hazard limit of 3. I could put Orc Raiders on them. I mean, I could... 4 strikes of 6. Man, this deck is just so nasty. Alright, well, we gotta play Minion Stir. And then let's play Orc Raiders on this party. And I'm going to play Pierced by Many Wounds on them as well. So that means we have 6 strikes of 8. Ooh, nasty. 6 strikes of 8. And this says the first excess strike assigned to each character becomes a -4 modification. So every character can get one of these modifications. Oh boy. Alright, 6 strikes of 8, yes, so everyone's facing a strike of 8, and everyone gets a -4 prowess modification. Wow. Alright, and we are keying this to... They're not going into a borderland. They're not going into a borderland. No. Okay, so we have to key it to the wilderness. Shoot. So, Gildor can tap his cloak. But, so... he does not get one of... I'm going to give the extra... So I'm going to put an additional prowess modification on Gandalf. So Gildor gets his strike, but Gandalf's going to take the 6th strike. So he gets -5 prowess modification. And Bilbo gets -4 to beat 8. So Gandalf must tap in this case. And... yikes. -4, yeah. minus 5 prowess modification to be 8. So he has a base 8 with the ring. So 8 minus 5 is 3 to beat 8. Bilbo's going to tap as well, of course. So 3, 10. Nice. Okay. And then Bilbo. It said, wait, what? Minus 4? Oh no, minus 4. So he's at negative 3 to beat 8. So he's wounded. Oh man. And then body check for Bilbo. 7. Oof. Scary, scary, scary stuff. All right. Woof. All right. So bag in was not tapped, right? I don't think we tapped it. So we can go back in there, but I don't think we tap it to meet a character. I'll have to double check that, but we're at the Old Forest now. Okay, and everyone brings their hand back up to 8. These guys. Oh Lord, minions stir. And Morgul Knight. Playable only if treat all wilderness and shadow as shadowlands. All shadowlands as dark domains. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Alright. All wilderness as shadowlands. Okay. So they're staying put at the Gladden Fields. Nope, they don't draw. We don't draw. So we could play this with minion stir. That would make... this is the only thing we could do. With minion stir, that would make this 3 strikes of 9. At which point we could then play this one, which would be 5 strikes of 10. 3 strikes of 9, 5 strikes of 10. I think that's the play. Alright, Orc Lieutenant. Oh yeah, let's get these guys done. Orc Lieutenant. 3 strikes of 9. I'm going to tap these 2 guys. And then we've just got to get out of here. This is just ridiculous. But 3 strikes of 9. Okay. And then the other strike will go on to Annalena. Alright, so Gloin has 6. He beats it with a 9. Balin has 6. He beats it with a 7. Annalena has 1. And she's wounded with a 6. Body check. With an 8, she's out of there. Annalena is gone. Dead. Oh, man. And that's not the end of it. Now the Orc Riders come out with... with 5 strikes of 10. 5 strikes of 10. Jeez Louise. Alright. So, the extra strikes are going on... The extra strikes are going on Gloin. So, he goes down to... He's already tapped, that puts him at 5, so he would go to 3. 3 to beat a 10. 3 plus 7 is 10. Alright, so ineffectual strike from the Wolf Riders. Balin is at 5 to beat a 10. Does it. Glorfindel is at 6 to beat a 10. And he does it. Okay. Wow. Okay. We've lost Annalena. Oh my gosh. Man, this is just worse and worse. Alright. So, we arrive at the sight phase. And no one can do anything. Nobody can do anything. So at the end of that, we arrived here. So these guys bring their hand back up to 8. Man of Lamedon. Another and 4th he hastened. Man, these guys are on fire. So many things we can do. If we want to discard, we're at the end of their turn, so if we want to discard, we can discard something. I don't know that we do. Alright. So we're not going to discard. This side is going to discard Thranduil. Just not in the cards at the moment. We've got to survive. Alright, and we pull a ghouls. Okay, so that's the end of this Gandalf's turn. Now we head over here. Saruman untaps. Halbarad is going to store this. When stored, keep the sage tapped. When stored. Alright. So this is stored for now. And then once we have a reforging card with it, it can be paired with Narsil. I could at any time untap Halbarad and play Marvel's Told with him to get rid of something. I just don't think that Nazgul event is really the worst thing in the world right now. Might be a mistake, but yeah, I think we're gonna get going. All right, so the Vale of Eric. These guys are going to go to the Vale of Eric to... Will he be able... Oh, wait. Well, before we do that, we need to remove some people around. Okay. No matter what I do, I can't... Yeah, I've got to dip into the general influence. I've got to... Aragorn has what? He's got 3 direct influence against factions. 3... 4 for being a Dunedain. Okay. 4. He would need to roll a 7. I mean, it's almost a sure thing. Yeah. I think the riskier move would be losing one of these factions and to muster disperses. So, yeah. We're going to stay in this configuration. These guys are going to go to the Vale of Eric. And then these guys need to go somewhere where they can get information, but I don't want to go somewhere where they don't want to go somewhere with an orc automatic attack. Okay, so we're going to go to this place called a-Lisch, and it is in the old Puckle land. Which from the Woden foothills is one. Let's see, Rohan, Gap of Eisen, Old Puckle land. Yeah, so wilderness, borderland, wilderness. So they're gonna go there. They're gonna go there. I think we do Saruman's team first. So our hazard limit is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can draw up to 2 cards. But if any more we draw than 1, we suffer from the shadow of Mordor. All right, so reaching shadow, and then we draw concealment. All right. Okay. So they're going to a site where information is played. So yeah, I could play this Lure of Expedience on them, but they're not going to draw an item. Boy, oh boy. I could draw another. All right, I can draw another. All right, 2. All right, Stirring Bones. Okay, Stirring Bones. All right,
we've got to make something happen. So, Stirring Bones is 2 strikes with a prowess of 9. If we apply they've got a 5 hazard limit, so if we apply Hormorath's buff and Icy Touch, we could bring this up to 2 strikes with a prowess of 11. That starts to feel more doable. We've just got to try. It's the best we can do, and let's see what happens. Alright, so Stirring Bones is played. 2 strikes with a prowess of 11. Stirring Bones is played, and I wait for a moment, give my opponent the opportunity to cancel. They don't seem like they're going to, so then I apply these buffs. And now, thinking about things from this perspective, we do have 2 and forsee hastened, so we can untap somewhat freely. I'm sorry. It's Hormorath gives a plus another strike, so it's 3 strikes with the prowess of 10. Excuse me, 3 strikes with a prowess of 10. Alright. So, how do we want to allocate those? If Saruman taps, he'll have a prowess of 6. Everybody can tap. No matter what happens, there is a small chance anybody could be hit. Could be injured. So, I say the Rohirrim are going to take this. They're marching out. Theoden, they've played, what, 3 cards against their hazard limit? 3. So, I feel a little okay about this. And everyone's going to tap, and Theoden's going to tap his shield. So let's see what happens. Trying to beat a 10. Erkenbrand has 5, Theoden has 6, and Hema has 4. 4, 5, 6. So let's do Hema. Oh no, Snake Eyes. Hema is wounded. Erkenbrand, 5. Oh, Erkenbrand is wounded. Wow. And then Theoden at 6. What? Theoden is wounded. Oh my. Wow. Finally. They're making something happen. Jeez Louise. Okay. All 3 of them are wounded. Let me remind myself what happens with this card. The next character wounded by an attack on whom a corruption card has not already been played this turn receives 2 corruption points. Wounded by the... Okay, so I suppose if he's killed, that doesn't count. Alright, I'm getting ahead of myself. Hema with a body of 8. Oh my. Uh-oh. Hema is dead. Oh. Yikes. Maybe we should have brought Gambling along. Okay. Oh man. Erkenbrand with a body of 6. 5. Okay. Erkenbrand lives. He's wounded, but he lives. And now Theoden. Oh. Theoden with a body of 7. Oh, and I roll a 7. Okay, so Theoden lives. Whew. Okay, alright. So, actually, if we go with the order, it is Erkenbrand who receives those +2 corruption points. So he now has 4. That's starting to look a little bit more like something. Now I just got to find a way to force a check. But that is the end of that attack, and finally a somewhat successful, well, not somewhat, it was a very successful attack. Okay, and both of these cards are discarded. And now I have to ask myself whether I want to put Lure of Expedience. Again, we know they're going to a site where information is played. We've kind of got the idea what's going on. They've got Anduril over there. They're going for reforging almost certainly. And so, that would not count for this. Gains an item, including ring special items. Reforging is not an item, no. It's a permanent event. Okay, so it might still be a good idea to sit on this. In fact, if I were to discard anything, it would probably be ghouls. Yeah, I hate to discard my one and only creature, but I just don't think that we're going to be able to play this anytime soon. So that's what we do. We discard this and they arrive. Safely is not the word, but yes, they arrive at a-Lisch. Phew. All right, and then we need to discard down, and I'm leaving these two because I'm gonna want to do something this turn and get back to a haven to heal up my guys. So I want to keep these three. As great as it is, there's nothing I need this for at the moment, so I'm going to discard Marvel's Told. I may come to regret that, but I've got something cooking over here. This could be really good. So let's hope for the best. Okay, and now we move on to Aragorn's movement hazard phase. He's moving from Edhellond to the Vale of Eric, and that is a Wilderness Borderlands border hold. Wilderness Borderlands border hold. So we may draw one. Paths of the Dead. Oh, a company that starts in Dunharrow and can move to the Vale of Eric. Oh, what? Dang it. Now we're on the wrong side of the mountains to go through the Paths of the Dead. Huh. Interesting. Man. A little bit of a bummer there. It would have been better to get this and then use this to travel through the Vale, through the Paths of the Dead to the Vale of Eric. We're now there. Okay, but we still need the Army of the Dead in hand to make this work, so that's fine. And then this team, Ren, the Unclean. Fantastic. Okay. I have the option to immediately place Lure of Expedience on Aragorn and then force a corruption check with Ren. That is not the worst idea. Again, we just gotta make something happen. So let's do just that. So step one, I play Ren the Unclean. Even if they'd had Marvel's Told, I don't think they would be able to tap to play to affect it because there's no sage in their company. So, and then I'll play Lure of Expedience on Aragorn, bringing his corruption point total up to 5, and then I will tap Ren to force a corruption check. So that's 1, 2, 3 against the hazard limit, and we're forcing a corruption check on Aragorn. He has 5 corruption points. What? Oh no. So with corruption checks, oh man. With corruption checks, if it's equal or 1 less, then the character is not eliminated, they're discarded. So this means that Aragorn loses the faith a little bit. He's going to leave with every item in his possession, but everything's going to just be discarded, and including Aragorn. So he could come back later, but at the moment he's losing faith. And finally, okay, we've been trying so hard to make this corruption deck work well, and it seems to have worked. Okay, so let's go over here. Oh boy. So any non-follower discarded along with any non-follower cards under his control. So that means Aragorn, Narsil, Return of the King, the Horn of Anor, and sadly, Quick Beam. And then These two are just out on their own at the moment. All right. Well, we solved our general influence problem. Not the way we wanted to. So that's it. That's all they're going to play on them. So these guys arrive at the Vale of Eric with not a ton to do, unfortunately. But they arrived otherwise unscathed. Aragorn disappeared in the middle of the night with the blade of Isildur. And I'm going to discard Paths of the Dead. Oh boy. Saruman's not going to be happy when he hears about this. Huh. Alright. That just took a big bite out of our corruption point total. Hey, that's what we've been trying to make happen from with all these undead cards. Finally worked out. Okay, so they've arrived. We brought our hand down to 8. This team brings their hand up to 8. Okay, I've got Halfling Strength. Hobbit may untap and move from Wounded to Well, or get a +4 modification to a corruption check. Alright, that's going to be helpful. That's going to be helpful. Okay, but we have a 4 strikes with the prowess of 8 to contend with here. And half of our party is wounded, so it doesn't benefit us to sit around here. Let us... Alright, we're going to face these strikes. Let's start with the Saruman. He has 6 to beat 8. He beats it. Erkenbrand is wounded, so he has 3 prowess to beat 8. He rolls a 9. Theoden has 3 prowess to beat 8. He rolls an 8. He beats it. And then Halbarad is tapped, so he has -1 prowess to beat an 8. And he beats it. Alright, nice. Okay, finally some good news. And then I'm going to play Anforthi Hasten to untap a character in my wizard's company. And I'm actually going to untap Saruman as well. And then Halbarad's going to tap the site and play Reforging. He cannot untap, and again, like the Anduril, he cannot untap until we store this at a haven. And then I'm going to tap Saruman and make a corruption check, oh boy, to try and bring... I think I've got to try and bring Aragorn back. Aragorn, where are you? Alright, he rolls a 5, so that's fine. Alright, and I'm going to take Aragorn back into the play deck. You know, this Palantir has been a real lifesaver. I'll tell you. We can also bring Narsil back. We've got to complete this Narsil mission. Even if we don't do Return of the King, we've got to complete this Narsil mission. Okay, and then looking at these guys, I'm just going to go for it. So, Forlong, good old Forlong is going to try and rally the men of Lamedon. And he has 0 direct influence, but he's Dunedain, so he gets a +1 modifier. So he's got to roll greater than a 7. He's got a +1 modifier. 5. No, he doesn't do it. So they are discarded as well. Boy. Alright, these guys are steamed now. And the Vale of Eric is tapped. Oof. Okay. And so, with that said, we're at the end of turn phase, and they can discard 1 if they want to. They do not. They're angry at this point and want to do some damage. So we just bring their hand back up to 8. Doors of Night. It's really useless. The Men of Anfalas. Choking Shadows. That's useful. Doors of Night. Okay. And that's it, right? 8. Yes. Okay. There we go. All right. Revenge will be sweet. Revenge will be sweet. And then looking over here, I do not really want to discard any of these. We're heading into our turn. We got lots of resources to help us along the way. We're not discarding. All right, so we'll keep this hand going into the next round.